This Herefish client success story centers around an automation that greatly boosted candidate experience. What would happen to your business if you provided a great experience consistently? I encourage you to find out. Let's get started on this one. Here is the opportunity. A job closes in your database. All recruiting firms communicate to the candidate or candidates that make it to a placement. Some recruiting firms communicate to the candidates that came close to a placement. Very few communicate to all candidates who were involved that don't yet know. That is the opportunity. This client created an automation notifying all candidates when a job closes. Different messages appropriate to what stage the candidate was in. For example, those that interviewed received a message that contained the primary reason they weren't proceeding, an invitation to discuss further, if desired, and a calendar link to make scheduling easy. For client sendouts, it was a different message. For candidates that applied online, a different message. You get the idea. The power is in the appropriateness of the message. But if you struggle to get there, remember this. A simple 2-line sentence is better than no message at all. What was the result? An awesome candidate experience, fostering an eagerness to work again together in the future, and better and easier recruiting. All things that are awesome. I love this candidate quote. An applicant sent a message back thanking them and said it was the first time in 20 years of working with recruiters that someone did that. Imagine what that new experience for this candidate did. It made them a raving fan of this staffing company. Imagine what creating similar experiences could do for you. Naturally, I'm here to help you out with a tutorial if you want to create similar experiences. Here we go. To achieve this yourself, you can actually use a automation blueprint that we have. So it's one here, it's the notify candidates when job closes. So if we click that and save it, this will become kind of the shell that you then can customize to make this your own. So obviously the job closing is going to be the primary trigger that's going to kind of kick this off. And then from there, in order to send the appropriate messages, you're really going to have to go off of what submission status it is. So for example, this is kind of a catch-all example where the job is no longer open and then the submission status is any of these things. Then what you could do is you could create a branch, and then depending upon the specific submission status, you could have the message be slightly different. So, for example, if someone only made it to a web response or an online application, it'd go down a different path than if somebody was client send out or somebody was interviewing or second interviewing. So that's one way you can customize things. To get the specific or primary reason why they weren't proceeding included in the message, I've seen that done a couple different ways. So you can use the same concept with the submission statuses and just create additional ones to say why they didn't. So for example, like client send out, it could be client send out chose someone else, right? And then that could be the trigger to then insert the appropriate message in that line of the branch or in that line of communication. Same thing with interviewing. You could list out some of the common explanations and reasons there. That's one way. Another way that it can be done is through a custom field. So I've seen this done where kind of a custom field can house the reason that someone wasn't chosen. And then you could include that as a search criteria in your list so that you're only targeting people that do have a reason. And then you could merge that in as a merge tag. And then you could follow up with your recruiters for people that don't have a reason, so they fill that out. But the main point, a lot of this is going to rely on strong process and data entry. But if you can get there, it can become really, really powerful. And then lastly, just want to show you a reminder of how you can put that calendar link in to a message dynamically. So in your Herefish settings, in your Bullhorn users area, you have this calendar booking link area that you can put in for each of your users. And then that becomes a merge tag that can be utilized in the message. So then whomever is sending the message will have their individual calendar link there. It can be a button or a straight link URL. And then that way, whomever clicks it can go to the calendar of the sender, and you can make that process much easier for scheduling calls and conversations. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos. Leave a like or a comment, and be sure to check out these other videos over here. Until next time, happy automating.